So it is the 3rd of August, 2022, and yesterday was code freeze for Kubernetes 1.25. And this is the SIG Node CI meeting, and apparently my webcam keeps turning off. So I guess I'm not having video. We don't actually have an agenda today, but there are. Oh, hello?
I'm here.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Can you still see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All the Zoom UI just disappeared from my screen, so I wasn't sure. So yeah, we don't actually have an agenda for today, but there is some stuff we should talk through about failing CI, and then take a quick look through the open PRs.
I'm hoping to discuss my problem too sometime during the meeting.
Cool. Do you want to just pop it on the agenda so we don't forget?
Yeah, I just couldn't find the agenda. Sorry, I'm so lame.
Oh,
I
no worries.
didn't see it. There, thank you.
So we've had a few fun CI issues for the last couple of days. Mostly related to the cryo tests, and none of them were running for the last few days. Seemingly due to like a change in the Fedora image we were using. But thanks to a fairly hacky fix, we have something working for now. But it seems like some of the tests that I don't think were failing before are failing now. Peter, did you get a chance to look at the config map failures?
I'm afraid not yet, but it is on my list. But I'm kind of coming back from vacation, so I have a bunch to catch up on.
Oh, no worries. I hope you had a nice time.
Yeah, I did.
Cool. But yeah, something funny going on with config maps and volumes. We just need to.
Yeah, I remember
figure out...
looking at it. Yeah, a while ago, and it wasn't apparently clear what was going on, and it's weird because the cryo tests, like, there are different sets of tests that the different jobs are failing, so it's very confusing.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Oh, these ones are still failing completely. Looks like I missed the hack in another test suite. Okay. For containerd, we have one unexpected failing test still, which is the containerd E2E Ubuntu test, which runs regular Kate's E2Es and has been sort of like randomly failing for a few days and still not sure why. Started failing when we updated the cause image, because the Ubuntu tests still use cause for the control plane node, and there seems to be something wrong with like connectivity between workers on the control plane, but I haven't been able to figure out why yet. But I also don't know how to run those tests outside of CI. So it's kind of hard to debug. Is there anything new here? These have been failing for forever. Presumably the same problem. Yeah. Cool. Brian, do you want to go for your thing first, and then we'll go to the board?
Yeah, that would be great. I couldn't add what I needed to the agenda. I'll add it afterwards. That's
Cool.
fine.
I will make
working
you
on-
co-host so you can share your screen.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to clean up my tabs, so you won't like what you see. There's a lot of tabs. I don't really care. Let me find the ticket I wanted to show you all. All right, looking for the share button. I see it. All right. All right, I hit the share button. You should see it.
Yep.
Scroll to the top so you can see the title and number. It's about some slow job, which is labeled as flaky, but actually fails every time nowadays. And I figured out why. The question is how to solve it. Went through a PR process, which I wasn't too comfortable about, and the rest of the community was not either. So I shut that down myself yesterday because it involved putting a test artifact in, which was large and 40 supporting files. The remote repo is blocking us, so the test can't pull its required assets anymore, so it fails every time. So what I need to discuss today is two possible solutions, not either one of the PRs. So if I take the test assets and zip them up into a tarball, it's only like 650K or something. If we could just put that somewhere, I could easily pull that down into the Docker file and have this thing build properly without doing all that other stuff I did in the PR. But I can't find a place where I can put it in the approved infra. And if this doesn't work, I have a second proposal for y'all. What do you think? Can somebody help me find a place to put a tarball that contains the test data sets?
We can ask in SIG Kate's infra. They might just be able to give us a bucket, or they might have something.
I've asked, but I will ask a second time.
Yeah, if you CC me on it, I will get Arnold and Dims to take a look.
All right, and then if that all fails, a totally simple idea. I don't know why it's not obvious. There must be something flawed about it. This is just a load test. We're doing something fairly complicated, a TensorFlow job. Why don't we just blow it away and use the famous tool like stress? It's really easy to stress a system. Would that be an acceptable replacement?
I don't know what this is actually trying to test. I've looked at that job before when it was failing and wasn't quite sure like what in Kubernetes it was trying to test.
Okay, I will push ahead with what you proposed first and get around alternatives if I can't make any progress. That's all I wanted to chat with you all about. Thanks.
Cool. So, let's quickly move stuff over that needs it. That one's waiting on. Come on, GitHub. Do the thing. None of these seem relevant. Cool. Let's make this a bit bigger. Okay. I cannot use computers today. That's okay. So add ETE tests for node log viewer, which is apparently some new feature. I apparently looked at this already. And it seems like they fixed things. I will. Does anyone remember what the release note non command does? By any chance?
Which command?
The release note, you say?
Yeah, there's like a release note editing command, and I don't remember what it is.
1 second.
Yeah, I think it's just release dash note dash none.
Let's go for that.
It's either that or there's a space instead of a dash at the end there. I can never remember also.
Yeah, you can just go and release dash note dash none if you don't want
Yep.
to have anything.
It did the thing. That is good. I'll take finishing off this review when I'm done with this call. Test port volume unit test to Windows. Does anybody want to take a look at that? Is it actually something that it is not only something we should look at. No, okay. I guess we'll get to it eventually. Test failure on volume snapshot. That is a lot of storage related test fixes. Is that actually something we can help with? Not really. Custom volume sizes for Windows containers with containerd. This seems more like a general feature thing that has test implications. Yes, indeed. Therefore, not a thing for us. Cool. That's the triage list. Let's go through needs reviewer. Oh, this one has been around for forever. And it's probably going to stale out.
Never heard of Ignition.
So it's Fedora's equivalent of CloudInit.
Uh,
At least I've never seen anything not Red Hat use it. But Red Hat is my.
I think it was actually originally CoreOS, and then once we moved to Fedora CoreOS based on it, then we used Ignition as a tool. But yeah, basically at this point.
first boot, so I could.
The CoreOS becoming Red Hat thing feels like forever ago after the pandemic.
Right. It kind of was at this point.
Fixing unit tests for Windows. Have the Windows folks taken a look yet? Not really. Same again. They're also pushing it for 126. Does anyone know what's going on with dual stack stuff?
No.
But also looks like not for this board. Test. Manage impl per shutdown event. This test case run failed. Oh, flaky test fix. Looks like David took a look today. Gonna bump that back to waiting on author. And that's for me to look at. Cool. Do we want to take a quick look at bugs?
Sure.
I wish GitHub would show all of the projects in one thing, because I keep forgetting to go to the other projects UI. The bug queue got long.
You're pretty good at navigating this UI.
Ugh. You say that, but kube proxy. Why is this triage to node? After joining worker node, the pods keep getting deleted and recreated with pod sandbox changed. It will be killed and recreated. They're using Calico. CNI container ID does not match workload endpoint container ID. What? Does anyone want to take a look at this? I'm not quite sure what the problem is. But otherwise, I will ask Mike to take a look.
I think Mike would be best.
Yeah. Why kubelet cert automatically rotation? What? Oh, okay. Why does someone need to restart the kubelet to rotate the kubelet certificate? This is support. Also support. Stateful set pod is never evicted from a shutdown node. I mean,
It's docs.
yeah. Yep, not a bug. Gonna. Node lifecycle controller should handle a pod with shutdown status. shut down node host, the kubelet has graceful node shutdown enabled. The endpoint doesn't get removed from presumably the load balancer. This looks mostly like a SIG apps thing. Or do we own the node lifecycle controller now?
I think we do. But this one, are there probes running on this one? There was some fixes with probes on shutdowns that might impact this.
It doesn't look like they did.
I'll take a look at it. You
Cool.
can send it to me.
I'm bad at putting voices to names and I
Ah,
can't
Ryan
see any Zoom
Phillips.
UI. Cool.
Yeah, R. Phillips.
Yep. Windows host process containers are missing resource utilization metrics from metric servers. Let's let Windows take a look at that, assuming they haven't already. Correct. Pull private image failed on Kate's 124. This looks like support. Kubelet regularly freezes C groups of guaranteed QoS type, causing pod seg fault and core dump.
Regularly. Oh,
Kubernetes 121.
cool URL. Didn't know it.
It is the best website for saying, please make my life easier. When the pod is evicted due to low image of us available, prompt is difficult to understand. No. That has a PR open already, so I'm gonna assign myself to that because I've been looking at eviction stuff a lot. The kubelet is setting score adjust backwards. I was debugging an failure recently and noticed some unexpected behavior for how the kubelet is setting score adjust. From our docs, we describe setting things so that low QoS pods get killed first if they're consuming more than they should. But apparently we do the opposite.
Isn't that hard to believe?
Oh, I'd entirely believe it.
You got
But I
told
would
it
also
did.
entirely believe that someone was confused about how it should work. Does anyone have the time to look at this? Because I can honestly say I do not have kernel docs for this in my head anymore. Exciting. I guess potentially Mike or Clayton or Derek. Not that any of them have time.
Yeah, I find this interesting, but I can't really say definitively that I have time. So yeah, I don't know.
I think we could
Barely CC.
assign it to Kerr on my team and maybe he can look into it.
Who?
Let me see what his GitHub handle is.
Also, I think my GPU might be breaking because my screen keeps randomly flashing with like corrupted memory looking segments. So that's going to be fun tonight to debug.
I'm gonna assign it to R. Phillips and I'll reassign it.
Like this is a rabbit hole that I do not have the capacity to commit to. Master disruption mode in node cycle controller doesn't work sometimes. Does anyone actually work on the node lifecycle controller regularly? Because I'll assign myself and I'll try and find someone. Liveness and ready probe execution difference. Okay. Inversions pre 119, the liveness probe starts first and readiness starts after, whereas the probes now happen at the same time. Isn't that expected now?
I don't think they necessarily run at the same time. It just depends on whenever the timer hits.
Yeah, but I don't think that was ever an explicit staging of them. Was there?
I think they can both run at the same time.
Can I CC someone on this to do a nice answer?
I can take a look into this. This is Mike.
Oh.
Sorry.
See, I say I'm bad at putting voices to.
It should be like, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, GitHub's autocomplete is good at this, thankfully. Kubernetes failed to start due to CPU stat mismatch.
I love screenshots instead of text.
Love screenshots, they're the best. Like screenshots of a terminal, it's almost as good as a photo of a CRT with a terminal on it.
Very useful to copy text.
Yeah. Um, Sweetie, did you take a look at this by any chance?
I think I missed that. Can you?
Yeah.
Maybe CC me again and I'll follow up on this.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Kubelet sometimes doesn't finish killing pods. Yeah, this isn't a bug, this is support, but I'll let this get taken a look at first. The age-old, when the kubelet restarts, we temporarily report things as not ready. That's a feature request disguised as a bug. Add a kubelet configuration option to disable C-advisor metrics. This is no longer a bug. And cool. We made it through triage, kind of. Cool. So does anyone have anything else they want to go over before we call it done? Then have a good week, and I will see you all next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good
Thank
week.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Take
Thanks.
care.